Welcome to the Mason & Associates YouTube channel. I'm John Mason, president of Mason & Associates, and in this episode, we're titling it, Don't Insource Your Financial Plan. Well, as we get into the content of this video, I want to say thank you. Thank you for growing this channel. Thank you for being so engaged. We are loving the comments that are coming in, the interaction that we're having with you. The amount of views and likes that we're seeing is tremendous. And folks, we're changing lives. And I say we are changing lives. That's both Mason & Associates and you. You are responsible for helping us with this. Just recently, last week, my uncle, Kenneth Mason, had a phone call with a prospective client who elected survivor benefits during this open season. He wasn't able to become a client for a variety of reasons, but they have survivor benefits now. One, because we're putting out this content, and two, because you guys are smashing the like button, you're commenting, you're sharing it, you're introducing your friends, your family, and your coworkers to this channel. And because we are getting so much traction, we are changing lives across the United States. So thank you for engaging. Thank you for being on this journey with us. We did a video, grass seed versus sod, a few months back. And the premise of that video was basically two different experiences, grass seed and sod, and effectively communicating the do-it-yourself, the DIY retirement planner versus hiring a professional. And we're going to elaborate on that video today, and we'll link it in the description and probably put a card up here as well for you to see it. Now, many of you on YouTube, we know, let's just go ahead and say it. You're here, you're on YouTube. There's a high probability that you are a do-it-yourself financial planner, and that's great. Because you're here, because you're watching this channel, you are way ahead of all of your peers who are not doing the research, who are not thinking about retirement. But you are thinking about it because you're watching our channel and others who are providing high quality information. So do-it-yourself retirement planners aren't bad, but we're going to challenge you today to maybe change your thinking and consider outsourcing some components of your financial plan. So today I had a wonderful meeting with one of my best clients, and what we talked about during the video is they need to buy a new car. And you should have seen how sad they were that they had to go buy a car. And the reason is not that the money they had to spend, it's about the experience. And he said, John, I know I'm going in at a disadvantage. I know they know how to sell cars, and I only do this once every 10 years. I know I'm in a disadvantage. And it occurred to me that if you only do things one time, or you only do things infrequently, you are certainly at a disadvantage. I could maybe frame a house. I would be at a much bigger disadvantage and less likely to do that well than somebody that frames houses for a living. Same thing with this gentleman, family buying a car. Only doing things so often, you can only get so good at it. And many of the things that you do as a federal employee or retiree is you retire one time. You turn on Social Security one time. You activate your Medicare one time. You do a lot of these things in retirement one time. Or even if you do it for 30 years, it's the only time that you've been through a 30-year retirement. And we've been helping folks do that since 1987, retire successfully. So we want to challenge you to maybe embrace the idea of hiring a professional. Going into 2024, don't do the things the same way we've been doing it for the last 10, 20, 30 years. Why not give somebody like Mason & Associates a shot? Or somebody like us? Folks, the way we're compensated by our clients is basically every quarter we get paid. And as long as we are delivering massive value and the client thinks that the value we're providing is either some multiple or higher than the fee they're paying, we continue that relationship for another quarter. So if you're a do-it-yourself investor, do-it-yourself retirement planner, that's great. Good job taking ownership of your financial plan watching this video. Give us a shot, give somebody a shot. What have you got to lose? Our introductory phone call, there's no charge. 30 minutes, and our commitment is you'll leave there better off than when you came in. If you elect to become a client, you know exactly how we're compensated, and we're pretty sure we can add a lot of value to your financial plan. We did receive one interesting, this is a long video, I'm sorry. We did receive an interesting comment, and it was a phone call from one of our YouTube videos, and this gentleman, very educated, down into the regs, knows more about federal benefits than frankly most people out there, whether it's HR or financial planners. And we had a phenomenal conversation, and he asked me point blank, he said, John, if I know as much about this stuff as you do, which he knows a lot, why would I hire you? And the answer was, I don't think that you have an outsourced bone in your body. I'm not quite sure that you actually would benefit from our services because I don't think you have the ability to outsource it. But let me ask you, are you married? Yes. Is your spouse like you? No. Okay. What happens when you pass away? You did fine while you were working. You did fine being the do-it-yourself financial planner because you took ownership of that. But the second you pass away, is your spouse in the same position to continue the financial plan? Well, if they haven't been involved in all those decisions and they're not as ingrained in the benefits and watching all these videos on YouTube like you are, how are they going to continue the plan? Let me put it to you this way. My uncle has said this for the 13 years that I've been here at Mason and Associates. Just because one of you dies doesn't mean that your financial plan should change. That's true if you hire somebody like Mason and Associates. The financial plan doesn't change because we're the quarterback, we're there assisting you, and we know what the plan is. If you're a do-it-yourself financial planner and your spouse isn't actively engaged in that plan with you, when you die, your financial plan certainly changes because they have not been a part of the ride. So folks, we're challenging you. Give us a shot, give somebody a shot. We think you could benefit from hiring a financial planner. We want you to outsource. We'll leave you with this parting thought. We want you to outsource some of the thinking around your financial plan, not the decision making, because ultimately it's your plan, it's your decision. We want you to outsource some of the thinking to professionals who do this every day. Remember, things are what they seem at Mason and Associates. We're here to support, empower, and educate and motivate you to make changes in your financial plan.